Friends, you want to start a band, where's your damned instrument? If you want to be a writer, what are you writing about? If you want to be a painter, let me see those stains on your britches. Not those. If you want to start a punk commune, well, show me your farming scars. And, you know, if you just want to be left alone, why are you here? And, you know, if all you really want is to just be yourself, well, hey, that's okay, too, because I know that in order for you all to just be yourself, you have to be pretty fucking weird. But, you know, it's not just a matter of, oh, gee, just be yourself and express yourself and let the good vibes fill you. The very survival of our kind, the subgenius race, children of Yeti and human alike, hangs in the balance, friends. For the conspiracy shall not rest until each and every abnormal person is either forced to pretend to be normal, even to him or herself, or has perished. Let me ask you, do you believe that things are far, far worse than they let you believe? Yes. Are you looking forward to being left behind, trademark? Yes. Do you dream of being the monster, but find yourself in the rear end of the monster suit? Do you ever suspect that we're just one drunken road trip shy of a full-blown extinction event? Do those nouveau pomo boho a go-go mofos got your ho-hos a no-go? And a translation for the acronym impaired. Are those newfangled postmodernist bohemian wannabe motherfuckers getting your good times in a bind? Do you only want to do your own thing with extreme prejudice? Are you ready and willing, or are you red-eyed and wailing? Well, then, friends, the Church of the Subgenius may yet save your weirdness potential. Learn to wield those bizarre personality traits and tics into a mighty battle axe that shall sever the bonds of normalcy and lead you to the bountiful valleys of Oozsquare. Let J.R. Bob Dobbs be your armor and shield, and yes, even your codpiece. And no person, no mere human will be able to penetrate your smile. Let Bob smoke you in his pipe, friends, and rise like smoke above it all. Bob can save you. Bob will save you if and only if you give to Bob that which is Bob's, namely a small love donation of $30 measly dollars. But why Bob? Who is Bob anyhow? Are you one of those people, friends, who just not that long ago was saying to yourself, who's Bob? Come on, I'd actually like to see. Who here has been asking who's Bob and came here for that purpose? Okay, yeah, a few of you. I kind of figured. So I know you're thinking, what's Bob? Is he just this constellation of ink dots arranged into what looks like a rather unusual portrait of Mark Trail or Dick Van Dyke or some other 50s male icon? Well, no, friends. Bob is all those other 50 males icons. He had a career as an ad model, and it's very well documented. But that's not as important as the fact that Bob is a salesman. And not just any salesman, but a salesman possessing supernatural powers of luck that ensure that he could sell anything. As a result, he was at one point deep inside the conspiracy, one of its top players, and oblivious to all but his own short-sighted slack. But even then, what a perfection of slack. It was a fateful night in 1953 when, as Bob tinkered with an experimental television of his own creation, Bob was grasped by the very stark fist of removal of Jehovah One, a powerful deity that claimed responsibility for all religion. And he offered to make Bob his own salesman, a modern prophet for a modern age. Bob formed a covenant with Jehovah One and founded the Church of the SubGenius that very day, which at the time was nothing more than a joke religion, really. It was a crude and offensive parody of Freemasonry that he and his fellow rich white weirdos put up for a good laugh. But, in 1955, while this is all in the book of the SubGenius, by the way. In 1955, while Dobbs was undergoing a hernia operation, he experienced an even more powerful and beatific vision in which he could see the interconnections of normalcy that formed the basis of the conspiracy and how all the wires led up eventually to Jehovah One himself, puppet master of the conspiracy, who was not the God, but an alien who still threatens this planet. And he was but one of dozens of deity-like beings engaged in all-out cosmic warfare. As the anesthesia wore off, Bob knew what he had to do. He cast aside his previous conspiracy lifestyle, cast aside the covenant with Jehovah One, and recast the church as a powerful tool, a mighty weapon to fight for the unusual and bizarre against the very forces that would snort up your miserable souls like cheap blow at a swingers party and shoot up your angst to relieve their own tedium. Yes, you can fight back with slack. By the way, science does not remove the terror of the gods. I should clarify that it does seem to make it seem more like an amusement park ride to humans nowadays, but of course, people die on those rides all the time. But don't get me wrong about the conspiracy. It's not something that is outside. It's not a them to perplex and frustrate us. The conspiracy, friends, lurks in your own head. It lurks within your heart and soul, and rooting it out is not easy. Sure, you could fight against the conspiracy to pay bills, for example. Maybe you even hope that one day you'll have hamburger trees and pudding fountains abounding, and gold-plated mansions rising from the ground, waiting for you to settle in. But even if that day were to come, you'd still be bound to the conspiracy to breathe, wouldn't you? Kind of hard to get off this planet as long as you got that. And, the withdrawal symptoms are pretty harsh, so. You see, this is why slack is really so damned important. It's that which lets you have an option. The conspiracy's bad wiring compels us to eat or be eaten, to dominate or submit, to be smart or to be stupid, to be good or to be bad. But you always have the option of slack. Eat or be eaten, or slack off. Dominate or submit, or slack off. Be smart or be stupid, or slack off. Be good or be bad, or slack off. Always remember that, friends, and your life will become far less bound to conspiracy dictates and better welded to the juggernaut of Dobbs' own luck.